Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Today we are talking about everything to do with brows. So I've spent the last couple of weeks growing my brows out, getting them as thick and as bushy as I possibly can, ready for this video because I'm going to show you how to shape and define your brows, ready to be plucked and then filled in the most natural-ish kind of way. Yeah, well, let's go with that. Let's be honest, I don't have the worst brows in the world, but they do need a little bit of help. They do need to be shaped and defined. I typically do it on a daily basis. I just get the one or two little hairs that need to be removed, but I have let them grow out especially for this video. Now, just like everyone else, I do have my favorite brow. I have old Righty over here. She is the sister that gets the A's, does everything right, and is on track, whereas Sister Brow over here on the left, she's a mess, she's a rebel, she's out doing, she's skipping class, she's doing all of those things, and as a parent, I wish she was a little bit more like her sister. So what I have done in this video is I have grown them out ready for you so I can show you how to shape and define your brows using a universal trick that most beauticians use. Anybody can use this trick to help create the shape of brow that they want, and I have also shown you how to fill in your brows using a brow pencil. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching. If you are new to my channel, hi, my name is Nikki. I am a makeup junkie, and no, I don't need any help. I just need more makeup. Thank you so much, and please subscribe if you haven't already, and let's move on to the video. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is decide what shape that we want to do for our eyebrows so we can tidy them up and remove all of the excess hairs that we have there. To do that, what I'm going to do is just grab a brush of some sort. This here is a spoolie. This is what I typically use to help groom my eyebrows anyway. And what I want to do is I want to define where my shape of my brow is, and this is a universal tip for everyone, so it doesn't matter what brow shape that you have, this is typically going to work for everyone. So what you want to do is line up the brush at the edge of your nose, and this is going to depict where the start of your brow should be. Okay, and then what you're going to do is you're going to run the brush from the edge of your nose along your lash line, and this will show where your brow should finish. Okay, and then what you want to do is you want to put the brush from the tip of your nose across your pupil of your eye, and then at the end of the brush there, that will show where you should put your arch. So from here, typically what I do when I have allowed my brows to get a little out of control is I will go through and I will draw them in first, and then I will tweeze out all of the hairs that I don't want. So I'm pretty lucky with my brow shape. It's pretty thick. There's not much that I need to do with them, but I have let them grow out for a couple of weeks now so I could do this video. So I want to make sure that I'm definitely going to get the shape that I want without over plucking them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my brow pencil. This is the ColourPop brow pencil in Dope Taupe. This is what it looks like here. And this one is quite an inexpensive pencil. I love this pencil, and it's a micro tip. So what I'll do is I will start just underneath the bottom of my eyebrow, and I'm going to lightly start to draw in the base of my brow. So I've gone from inner quarter to outer corner of the shape that I want my brow to be, and then I'm going to do the exact same thing on the top. So I'm going to go straight along here, and you can use your brush to, if you want to join up those points, if you're wanting like a really straight brow, but I'm quite happy with the way that my brows go in naturally, so I'm just going to fill those ones in myself. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with the shape there. What I'm going to do next is I want to trim my brows. So the best way to do this is with a pair of cuticle scissors that look like this, and you can either use a brow brush or comb, or you can use a spoolie that looks like this one here, and I'm going to use the spoolie. So what I like to do is I like to grab my brows and I brush them straight up, and then I want to stop the brush. I'm just swapping over to my other spoolie on my brow pencil, and I want to push them straight up and stopping right at the edge of where the hairline would typically go, and then I want to cut them. So I'm just going to trim them, not going too low. So I like to do that all the way along my brows, and I'll go over them each a couple of times just because I don't want to take too much off the first time. And using the cuticle scissors will also help because this curve of the scissors goes downwards, so that's going to make sure that you're not cutting them too straight and making them stick out too much. So you do this all the way along your brow, and this will just help keep your brows a little bit more tamed throughout the day as well. This is how brows typically tend to get out of control and all over the place. Okay, so I've done all along the top, and now I'm going to do exactly the same principle all the way to the bottom of my brow. So I'm going to push them down. So now that I have trimmed my brows to the length that I find are easier to manage, what I'm going to do is start to define them a little bit better and get the shape that I want. So I'm going to use the lines that I've created here with the brow pencil by filling them in. And I'm going to tweeze out all of the hairs that I no longer want. And typically I will use a 3x mirror to do this. And I will find all of the tweezers, get tweezers and tweeze out all of the hairs that are outside of the line that I have drawn. So when I'm doing the underside of my brow, what I like to do is I like to brush the hairs up. That way I can see the ones that are sort of a little rogue and out in the middle of nowhere, so I know which ones I need to get. You can remove the white pencil from your forehead using just a damp beauty blender or a beauty blender that already has your foundation on it, and it's going to make everything all seamless for you. Once I'm finished with shaping my brow, I like to go in and just wipe off the pencil that was originally in there, as what I've done is very heavy-handed to make sure that I know where I want my brow to be and what shape that I want to use to assist with my plucking. So I go in, I just wipe it all off, or as much of it as I possibly can, so I can go back in and fill it in the way that I would like it to be. So I'm just going to quickly go over that just with my beauty blender that I used on my face to put my foundation on, just to make it all even so I haven't wiped off any foundation around it. And then this time what I'm going to do is I'm going to use two colors to fill in my brows. So typically what I like to do is I like a lighter color on the inside of my brow here, and then I like to make it darker as it goes out towards the outside of my brow. The reason that I like to do this is I find that it creates the most definition while allowing me to still have fairly natural looking brows. So I'm going to use both ColourPop pencils today, and this one I'm going to be using Dope Taupe like I did before, as well as Bang & Brunette. So with the Dope Taupe, what I like to do is I like to start not directly at the beginning of my brow. I like to start just where the arch begins, and I like to fill in that line on the bottom. And then I like to do the same thing along the top. This time I'm starting 3/4 of the way along the top and filling it in towards the tail. And then with my spoolie on my brush, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag product into the front of my brows, and that's just going to assist giving some colour in there without it looking like heavily drawn on pencil. Okay, so the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Bang & Brunette, and I'm going to do the same thing again, but I'm going to do it from about halfway along my brow, and I'm going to take it all towards the end. And I'm going to start off really, really light-handed here in the middle, and then I'm going to get a little bit more heavy-handed towards the tail. And once again, I'm going to brush that all out. One off now, what I'm going to do is either take a brow gel or a brow plumper. I like to use the Ardell Clear Brow Gel just to help them stay in place, but my all-time favorite is the L'Oreal Brow Artist Plumper. It looks like this one here. This is my favorite because I can throw this on when I'm having a no makeup day, and what it does, it deposits small fibers into the hair and makes them look thicker, so it will put a little bit of color on there. This one is medium/dark. So what I like to do is, starting towards the middle to the end, I like to start to put this one onto the hairs. Consider it to be very similar to a mascara for your eyebrows. Okay, so you can see the difference here between each of my brows. This one here I have done absolutely nothing to. I still need to go through and define, shape, tweeze, and all that sort of stuff. And this one here has been completed in full. I have tweezed out underneath my brow. I have filled them in and got them the way that I like them. And now I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. This time I'm not going to talk through it. I'll just do it really quickly so you can see pretty much everything that I've just said.
Let's have